We hope that you've been enjoying our broadcast this afternoon, and we hope that you're having a great Sunday afternoon, as we always do on the broadcast here at Second Chance. Pamela Mathis is the author of You Are God's Love Story, a new publication that she has authored, and we're delighted to be able to have her on the broadcast this afternoon to talk about this publication. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Kenny, for having me.
It's good to have you here today. So tell us a little bit about this. I'm always interested in talking with authors, especially with regards to what the motivation for writing a book was. Let's start right there. What was your motivation for writing this book?
Well, you know, I'm a big fan of fairy tales, and so God inspired me to write my own fairy tale. I had a lot of daddy issues, had a lot of trust with men issues. And so God said to me, okay, you write the fairy tale and I'll make it happen for you. So that was my inspiration. And I think my desire to touch other people who have daddy issues, because it lingers, it carries, it, you know what I'm saying, it consumes your life. And it's done that for me. And so by writing this book, I was able to, you know, kind of have a conversation with my dad, have a conversation where God, you know, came in and addressed some of those issues for me. So the book is kind of, you know, in a weird kind of way, kind of dedicated to my dad, although he doesn't know it's dedicated to him. But it was just an inspirational kind of issue where I had to get it out in order to heal from it. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the inspiration for the book.
So what is the premise behind the book?
The premise behind the book is allowing God to be first and foremost that first love for you. Hence the title, You Are God's Love Story. Because so many times what we do is we jump in, we try to heal those places, we try to make things happen. But if you allow God to be that first place, He does those things for you. Now, it doesn't happen overnight, but over a process. There is a healing, and there is a place to inspire somebody else during your healing. Because we understand that everything that we learn is not for us, but for the next person.
I love two things that you said, especially the notion of a process. Oftentimes we don't experience that or process that in the way that it probably should be processed, because we're right in the middle of that thing. We want it to end. We want the pain to go away. We want the circumstances to change. We want to put it in our past. We want to just get down the highway and forget about it, but not recognizing sometimes that it's in the process. It's in the crucible. It's when the heat is hottest that we actually begin to experience that growth and that change, and we get to face the thing that is our biggest challenge. And then you also said that when you do this type of a thing, when you write these words, when you cathart in yourself, you also set up the potential to help somebody else. Were those very targeted goals that you had, or are those incidental things that came as a result of writing the book?
No, those were very intentional, because during my walk, I started my journey, of course, when I was 30. And so during that walk, I understood God spoke to me early on, this is not about you. Now, in my limited, mind, I thought, well, God, ain't my life about me? But He was able to show me that, no, it's not. And in that learning that it was not about me, it kind of gave me freedom, because it kind of said, okay, I'm not responsible for my own life. And if I allow God to be that director for me, how much greater can my life be? And so in that, how do you not help other people? How do you not become this beacon of light? Because that's what the Word says, and that's who God wants us to be.
There's two things that I cherish in life. The first thing is a sense of peace. And often it is that peace that's referenced as passing all understanding. And the other thing is freedom. I think one of the most wonderful things God ever did, as much trouble as it's gotten us into, was give us the freedom to choose. Because that is one of the most powerful things that we have available to us, in spite of our experiences. that we can choose something better for our lives. And so when you talk about that notion of freedom being offered through this journey, I think that that is one of the most significant things that can be pointed out as it relates to this book and this publication. You obviously want this book to touch lots of people's lives. Who do you think, or was there any one person perhaps that you were writing to it more than any other person?
Well, now I do have to say, my ministry is for young ladies. I have a passion for this next generation, just period. But I think, and I'm not saying that, males don't have daddy issues, because they do, but females, and I can relate to that because, of course, I am a female, it is so devastating to not have that male figure in your life, that early on, that's supposed to be the most powerful relationship in your life. And so not having that has been like a heartbreak every day. And so for me, if I can help anybody, because, of course, it is directed to young ladies, but, men can gather some information too, because it's just about really having that relationship with God first and allowing Him to be that first place in your life. And if we do that, there's nothing that you can't do. There's all this power. There's all these doors open to you, because God really is faithful. And if you allow Him, and if you listen to His voice, because we all have that God voice inside of us, He'll come to you. He'll answer those, He'll heal those broken places. And so that, to me, this next generation of young people really need somebody to speak to them, for them, and about them. Yeah. So, that's my, where my heart is.
Yeah, and of course, that's what this show is all about. This show is called Second Chance. It's a show that focuses on redemption, principles, themes, and values of redemption, healing, restoration, restoring hope, all of those kinds of things that people often seek in life because of the experiences that they've had. And we're very grateful that God moved upon your life and inspired you to write this book. The book is called You Are God's Love Story by Pamela Mathis, the author. Tell us how people can get a copy of the book.
You can actually get a copy at LuLu.com, and I would prefer you go there because I get the greatest benefit. But I'm also on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble. Right. And I want to just throw this in there too. Thank you, Kenny, for writing the foreword. I really do appreciate that, and having me on your show.
Well, just an honor, I always enjoy living, as I say, vicariously through other people's journeys and the blessings that they are experiencing. We are absolutely blessed to be a blessing to others. And so it was an easy thing to do. It's difficult finding the time for a while there, but I finally got it done.
I appreciate that.
Very proud of your finished product, and I know you are as well. So, again, LuLu.com?
LuLu.com.
Okay.
Amazon.com. And BarnesandNoble.com. And
right.
I know a lot of more people are probably familiar with Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
All right, terrific. You got people listening all over the world today. This is on the internet, and so we hope that you'll take advantage if you're looking for a life-changing book that can help you understand some of the challenges that you're facing. And the point that I'll drive home that Pamela said over and over again is that with God in your life, you may not always understand it, you may not always feel it, but with God in your life, there's going to be something better down the road. We just want you to hang in there and do the best that you can until your help comes. We are very grateful to have had Pamela Mathis today. You Are God's Love Stories, the book. Thank you for being here this afternoon.
Thank you, Kenny, for having me.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment to wrap up our broadcast. I'm Kenny Anderson. It's Second Chance. I hope that you're having a great afternoon.
Perhaps you have some ideas, comments, or
I'm going to take a picture of you behind the mic holding the book up.
how would you like to be a guest on the broadcast? Thank you for tuning in to Second Chance. We hope that the information that was shared is a blessing to you and that your life please send your email comments to Kenneth Anderson.
All right, there we go.
MXLife.
Fire extinguishers on the back. I don't like that.
That's MXLife@AOL.com.
It's like growing out of your head right here. That don't look good. Yeah, that's a good shot.
That's TND Chance. In the meantime, have a great week. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate that.
Listen, it's my pleasure. I'm glad we finally got to it. We've been trying to do that for a while.
Yes.
And just happy that we had the chance to.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it, sir.
Brother.
Yes,
Always,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
And welcome to First Church.
Yeah, that's right. That's
yes.
All right. Glad to have you guys.
right. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, my purse.
Oh, yeah.
Leave that. It's been a beautiful day today.
Yeah. I was surprised myself. All right, you got everything?
Thank you again.
All right. Have
All
a
right,
good
sir.
evening. All right.
All
Take
right.
care.
I like the racing bikes.
How'd I do for real?
You did good.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm
You
saying.
sounded like I didn't.
No, you didn't do the discount.
I don't think he was like when.
Oh, so he was saying don't do it?
I don't think he was wanting people to say prices.
Oh, yeah, because it's the Sabbath. Yeah. So tell me what you thought.
I thought it went well. I wasn't nervous. I think, it was very laid back. I love being on the radio. So hopefully I'll become a radio personnel. What do you think?
Personnel or personality?
Personality. Yes. So it was a good experience. I've been praying about it all day to make sure my nerves wasn't, there. So I think I did a good job.
Yeah, I think you did too.
I'm very impressed with myself.
Okay.
Well, with God, let me say that.
Yeah,
With God.
well,
Because He opened the door for me.
great.
Prayer does work.
If you work it right.
If you work it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.